Benjamin Netanyahu has weathered protests before. So-called black flag activists have waged a years-long campaign against what they call his anti-democratic rule. But in the last 2 weeks, the protests have changed and grown as Israelis, buckling under a second wave of coronavirus, turn their anger on the government. Netanyahu has admitted to reopening the economy too quickly, allowing gatherings of too many people. Others point to the government's failure to expand the system of testing and tracing as the first wave ebbed, leaving it ill-equipped to stop the second. Author and journalist Ronan Bergman has investigated that decision-making. He says the health ministry went against expert advice.
You need to know as soon as possible if that person is ill or not. You need to test that person immediately after he is identified as suspicious, as a suspect. So if you do not, then the chain of infection, it goes on and you are not able to cut it.
The government itself said it needed a 48-hour turnaround from suspected case to test result. Even now, it's taking 6 to 8 days. The concern now is that it's simply too late in terms of testing to catch up with the sheer scale of this second wave. Israel's missed opportunity on testing and tracing is now being seen as part of a wider political failure to tackle the pandemic. Under pressure, the Prime Minister has been announcing measures only to unannounce them, from a $1.75 billion package of cash handouts, first universal, now means-tested, to an order to close restaurants, postponed within hours, to weekend closures of beaches and pools, reversed within days. The one constant, his insistence on avoiding a second full lockdown.
I have requested each ministry's plan for a safe exit from the coronavirus restrictions, meaning that if we straighten the curve and reach the goals that we set for the determined number of cases per day that we can work with over time in the coronavirus routine.
But the head-spinning policy shifts have undermined belief in a Prime Minister also on trial in 3 separate corruption cases. One survey this month put public trust in him at just 29%.
And the problem that there's really this back and forth that it's not creating trust. And trust is crucial in order to move ahead because it's a long-term situation. When I'm talking about trust, it's both trust of the public and trust of experts.
Just weeks ago, Netanyahu had squashed the first wave of COVID-19 and neutralized his most serious political rival, Benny Gantz, inside an emergency coalition. Now he's fighting to beat down a resurgent virus and restore his diminishing political capital. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Tel Aviv.